Speaking of which, Kansas and Baylor. Joe, last night Baylor pulls off the big win over Kansas at home. By the way, Tennessee might be a bit worried. They're down by 19. So obviously, Kansas loses. They don't really ever have control of the game. They had a couple big runs, one in the beginning of the second half, one in the middle of the second half that kept it in single digits. But Baylor ultimately prevails. Jared Butler, 30 points, 7 of 9 from 3. I think he also had 7 assists to go along with that. Joe, I want your report card. Give Kansas a grade on A to F, and then Baylor a grade from A to F, and I'll do the same.
I'm going to give Kansas a B minus.
Okay.
I'm going to be lenient on them. I'm not going to say they get a C, honestly, because I think they are still a top 10 team, but they went against one of the toughest opponents in the country.
Yeah.
And I think, they could have kept it closer than it was, but I mean, it is Baylor. Now, Baylor, I'm going to give an A minus.
Okay.
I don't think they're playing at their, full potential. I think Jared Butler
they were, but yeah.
I don't think Jared Butler is. No, I do think Jared Butler is.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I do. I do think Jared Butler is. I don't think the rest of the team is.
Yeah. I mean, Teague had 13. Other than that, yeah, no one else had double digits.
Yeah, I mean, but so what for 3-pointers? Jared Butler was 7 and 9. The whole team was 9 and 19.
True.
The only other guy to score 3-pointers was Mitchell.
Yeah, Davion Mitchell.
Yes. Okay. So he led the team in 3-pointers. He made up for all the misses that everyone else had. Field goal. So he had 3 more field goals. And still, I mean, he's just carrying the team on his back. On defense, I mean, he didn't get that many rebounds. That it's good that Vital was there to get all the defensive rebounds. But I still don't think he got 4 points. I mean, they're not playing to the best of their abilities, except for Jared Butler. And we're gonna find that they can't. What's the word? They can't work. They're not going to win anything if Jared Butler is the only one doing everything.
I give Kansas a B. Actually, I think that the only reason they're not a B plus A minus in my book is because of the way they started the game. I think the first 10 minutes of that game for Kansas was awful. It was straight up pitiful, in my opinion. They couldn't get any looks in the lane. They literally, I think they scored in the first 2 TV timeouts less than 10 points, and they were just jacking up contested threes. They started to do a better job of getting looks closer to the basket, getting baseline drives, getting buckets. As the game progressed, they hit more threes because of that, and their field goal percentage wound up being pretty good at the end of the day, over 50% from 3, I think around the 50% mark from the field. My issue here with them is obviously, one, you lose, and you can't get an A in my book if you're going to lose, but B, the way they opened was a problem. I think the way they fought back, I give them a ton of credit for. Baylor, I'm with you on the A minus. I think they opened the game about as well as I've seen Baylor play this season, which was phenomenal. But as the game progressed, it looked like they took their feet off the gas, especially at the start of the second half, end of the first half, start of the second half. That lead got trimmed from 17 down to about 5 or 8 between the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 of the second. I think they opened the second half flat. I think every time Kansas made a run, they recovered well. I want to give credit to Jonathan Thachua. I think I pronounced that right. He actually played a phenomenal game. The commentators were loving him. Jay Billis was constantly talking about him. Man was setting really good screens for Butler, rolling off him, getting crucial rebounds, and a couple stickbacks. And on 1-3, I think it was, or not on a 3, it was a backdoor lob to Mark Vital. He set a huge dummy screen to kind of set that up on the back end. So I do think that Baylor played pretty good basketball, but I will say they had a couple periods where they lulled in that game, and I'm with you, Joe, in the tournament. when you're going up against, say, a Gonzaga, or you're going up against a team that maybe is a little better cut out to beat you than Kansas is, that would be a bit more concerning for me. You can't have those lulls, and you need other guys to kind of step up besides Butler, because you can't rely on him to go for 30 every night.
Hey y'all, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to see our last video, click here. If you want to see our next video, click here. And if you want to subscribe, click on my face.